So welcome everyone. We'll start by playing our signature tune, In It to Win It. And it's been a while that I've been on Zoom, so just bear with me. I'm looking for the share button. Everything changes. So we will be with you momentarily.
Your next stop is Unpassive.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
Wow. Thank you very much. Our wonderful brother is here today, and guess who has the voice that just finished? She is the next person that will say the word for us. But Sister P and Dr. Derek, thank you very much for putting the music together and with those lovely images. We have our beautiful sister here in red, and we're just about coordinating our
always.
non-verbal communication without talking to one another. Germany and Chicago, here we are. And she's going to grace us with her beautiful voice in sharing the word for today. Please, let's welcome Sister Lerato. Over to you.
How are you?
You look gorgeous.
How are you, my beautiful sis? You look gorgeous too.
Sister Lerato, I will just mute you for a minute because I'm going to mute or just unmute yourself, sis. Thank you.
Hi, sis. Hi, everybody. Oh my God, it's been such a long time. I missed you all so much. A lot has been happening. I wanted to be here last week, but yeah, God had other plans for me. So I'm here today, and it's just such an honor to be here. It's good to see you all. I'm back home, and I'm loving it. And I'm looking forward to hearing from my brother. It's always a delight to see him, and he just fires me up every time when I see him. It's so wonderful. My beautiful sister Kanla, sister Yvonne, Lily Lane, all of you. It's so good to see you, everybody here. It's really, really good to be back here. So I won't start this any other way than saying I want to give thanks to God for being here. I just came back from a very long trip, 7 hours train ride, and I got here safely. Yes, I'm really tired, but it's what it is. I'm here. I have to show up, right? And it's not even about showing up. I want to be here. So it doesn't even feel like an effort, because if you want to be somewhere else, everything that you do is just flows, right? So I want to be here. So I just want to give God thanks for allowing me and affording me another opportunity and another day to make better choices, to love better. You know, every day is an opportunity to do more than what I did yesterday. And so I just want to give God the glory and thanks for that. And I'm not going to say much because I'm looking forward to my brother here, my brother Jeffrey, to say something. I'm just here to just remind all of us of what we've been speaking about the whole time for a couple of years now. I want to say years. I don't want to say months. I want to remind us that we have to keep on agreeing with good, right? You have to keep on agreeing with good and remembering that now, since we're changing our identity, since we're changing the way we think, right? We're talking about mindset of prosperity. We always have to agree with good, which is agreeing with God. And I just want to remind all of us that the kingdom of God doesn't operate under scarcity. Remember, the kingdom of God is the kingdom of abundance and fullness. Is the kingdom of abundance and fullness. And so we have to constantly deliberately choose to agree with that every day. Even if it doesn't seem like it, when you start making different changes in your life, at first you won't see the changes, you won't see that what you're doing has an impact, but it does have an impact, and it sends ripples through the ether, through the universe to say, okay, fine, something is shifting, right? So it's like when you want to lose weight and you go to the gym, you don't gain muscle and become that person in one day. All right. So, but consistency and constantly showing up makes the difference. When you get up and show up, even if you don't feel like doing it, and you get up and you show up for yourself and you go to that gym, anyhow, that, the results have to show up at some point. They have to show up. So it's the same thing spiritually. Anything that we do and we change and our new identity and we start making those changes, we start thinking differently, those changes we will see, and everything else now will have no choice but to start catching up with the new identity that we have, right? So when we take that identity of abundance, right, now identifying with abundance and agreeing with the kingdom of God, everything else has to catch up, including money. It has to catch up. The zeros have to start showing, and they will show how in different ways, because God is multifaceted, and when he gives, he doesn't give only one way. He'll open other streams in different ways that we cannot even fathom. It's not our business to worry about that. I always tell people, like, we have to stop doing the job that God does and start trying to figure out how it's going to happen. As soon as we agree with good and we agree with God, it's God's business to make those things show up for us and make it happen for us. But we only have to agree and start making the shift and agreeing with abundance, and then our bank accounts will catch up with that. things will start now being attracted to us, and we will attract things that aligns with now our new identity. So I'm here to remind you of that, if in case you forget. All right. Because sometimes we forget when we see things, we're in this world and we forget that we're not of this world, right? We're in this world and you see the economy going haywire and things falling apart. You're thinking, oh, you start panicking. You start panicking and starting making other agreements that overrides what you were on another trajectory. Now you are changing course. You start agreeing with leg and whatever. I was talking to somebody today, one of the singers, and she was telling me, because she's been in the industry a long time, and she was telling me, oh, sometimes you have to do certain jobs and not because you want to. I said, no, I do the jobs that I want to. I'm not gonna work with people just because I'm like, no, I choose the jobs that when I wake up, I'm like, I'm doing the jobs that are beneficial to me. It's not only about money. I need peace. I'm not gonna go and do a job, and not all my good money is good money. I'm not going to go to a job and then I'm traumatized. By the time I get home, I hate the whole world. That money is not even bringing me peace. Right? So when I wake up, I agree with the kingdom of God. I said, whatever is going to land on my lap is bringing peace, because the blessings of the Lord maketh rich and it adds no sorrow. I'm not going to sit here now and be traumatized and bothered and I'm trying to get this money. No, it has to come with peace. It has to come with peace and no strife and struggle. No. So, and I told us, like, I don't care how many jobs are there. If a job belongs to you, and even if there are 1,000 singers that are there, if something belongs to you and it's for you, it will come to you. There's no reason to fight, to do whatever, and to elbow people. It will come to us. It's just for us to be in alignment with what we want and what we choose and what we agree with. It's the same thing with on passive. I see all these things. For me, it's not even challenges. We see our journey of on passive, and some people are discouraged. They're thinking, oh my God, it's whatever. And for me, my peace is, if God called it, if God said this is what's going to happen, I don't care what is happening. The world could be in disarray and things could be falling apart. If we were called into this, it will manifest how God wants it to manifest. And the journey there is there for a reason. It might look rough, it might look whatever, but it's a process. It comes with a process. It comes with many things that some of us here, had we not gone through this process, we wouldn't have obtained the kind of wisdom, and we wouldn't be able to settle in the blessing when it comes and know what to do with it. Because it's not only for ourselves, guys. I want you to remember that when this blessing, whatever blessings that God brings into our lives, and the light that God brings into our life, is not only for ourselves. When you go outside and it's dark and the light is shining, it's not shining for itself. It's shining for people to see the way. So when the blessings come into your life and God is loading you up with this light, it's not only for you. You are now put there as a pillar to bring enlightenment and light to others. Right? So it's bigger than us. The money and the prosperity and everything else, when we are entrusted and we are now stewards and that thing is brought into our lives, we have to have the process, guys, and the wisdom to be able to manage it. The process is important. So I'm not bothered. And for me, I always say that nothing is really lost. I know a lot of people would be talking about, oh, this time, oh, there's so much time and maybe people lost money. I'm like, nothing is really lost, guys. If it's in God's economy, it's not lost. Because for me, when I look into my book, it says that anything that I thought that I've lost, it comes back to me 7 times more. It comes with abundance. It brings everything else with it. It doesn't just come back as itself. It has to bring more with it. So nothing is really lost. If it's in God's economy, then you know that it's coming with more. So nothing is really lost. Even with on passive, nothing is really lost. I remember I was sitting here listening to Ash talking about the process. I mean, he was talking also in code, talking about what's happening and everything. And I just sat there and I was like, the fact that you trust God and the fact that you always mention that this is not, it's beyond you and God is in it, nothing is lost. People might think that they've stolen. Yes, I mean, of course, we wanted things to happen faster because we want to move forward, but nothing is really lost, guys. I just want you to remember that when we are now in God's kingdom and we operate in the kingdom and we agree with good, nothing is really lost. Nothing is really lost. Everything that is there, there's a purpose and a reason for it. And sometimes we might not see the whole picture, but when we are now in it, we will understand when that time comes why we had to go through what we went through. But nothing is really lost. Even that money, when she was mentioning that money, I was like, sir, do you actually know that that money is nothing compared to if God has something for you, that money is nothing, guys. It's just nothing. Whatever we thought we lost, it's not even a drop in the ocean of what God has for us. There are too many people here with destinies that are bigger than that money. Too many people here carry destiny that is bigger than that money. And so for us, it will be like chicken change. When we look back and see, oh, well, they stole that. Oh, good for them. But that was chicken change compared to what God is bringing and God wants to use us for. All right. So I just want to encourage you guys and to remind you of who you are, your identity. Our new identity is abundance. Don't forget to agree with that kingdom. Agree and align with that every day. Align with that every day. Align with that. Even if we were not about on passive and we were not meeting for on passive, I just want you to carry that with you to say, I've taken you've taken on a new identity, which is the identity that agrees with good, the kingdom of good, the kingdom of God, the kingdom of light, the kingdom of abundance and not scarcity, right? So there's much of all of us here are carrying big things that God needed us to meet here for, and to remind each other that we have a purpose. We have so much that God wants to download on us, but we needed the process, and the process happens to be on passive, right? And our blessing also happens to be here. So whatever form, shape, or whatever, I'm just trusting that, and I'm going with that. I'm here to remind you of that. So in case somebody didn't tell you that they love you, I want to tell you that I love you so much, and thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you, Sister Lerato. That was excellent as always. Thank you. Good to have you back.
Thank you, sis. Oh, thank you. God, it's good to be back. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Sister Lerato. That was beautiful mindset, and thank you for reminding us and reinforcing our trust and our love and our alignment with not only our CEO, Mr. Ajongwen, but with On Passive. We are here. We're trusted. We are not going anywhere. And so we continue this journey of aligning ourselves, and we continue to go through the process. Like our sister have said, every day, every step we take, it's the journey, it's the process, it's the continuation of the alignment, and it is a continuation of our identity, our abundance, which is our unpassive business, and the family we have all found in unpassive. So thank you so much, Queen Lerato. And also, we love you. Nice to see you. And even in your absence, through your lovely vocals, your lovely music, every day you are still with us. But seeing you in person is like, we see you now twice, right? We listen to you from the music, and then we see you physically. That is a bonus. So we love you. Thank you, sis. At this time, I would like to introduce our guest speaker for the day, who is no other person than our brother, Jeffrey Morlock. He is no stranger to us, to the Dream Team. He might be away for some time. He hasn't been with us, but sometime it's not too long, because we know the last time he was here and he blew our minds away. And so with the excitement and the joy of having him being able to join us today, Brother Jeffrey, you are heartily welcome. We love you in the Dream Team. Every time you are with us, it is always a privilege to have you. Your wealth of knowledge with Unpassive, and how you inform us to continue this journey, to align ourselves with our Unpassive abundance, is just immense. It cannot be measured. It's not something that can even be bought with money. So we love you, and We are so excited and looking forward to this presentation which you have today. And the topic for today's presentation is heart-brain coherence. Please, if you have not seen my message in the chat, there is a Word document that our brother Jeffrey has provided to us. Open it, download it if you need to. Use it as we go along the presentation so everyone is all engaged. You know where we are. For those of us YouTube, please, I will try to do that to YouTube as well, because I tried posting it and it didn't go, but I will try again. But while we go along, I'll still keep on trying so you can be able to download it on YouTube as well. So at this time, I would like to say welcome, Brother Jeffrey, and over to you. Thank you.
Wow. Well, thank you so very, very much. I'll tell you what, this is exciting. And wow, how wonderful, Lerato, you are looking today. You have, I don't know, you've done some things. It's been a minute since I've seen you, but you're looking very, very healthy, and that's really, really good. As are everybody here. I'm glad to be here. I really, really am. Thank you so very, very much. Deborah, you keep me on track and you keep me online, and I sure do appreciate that. And all of you folks here that, you just give me goosebumps. Oh, man. And when you speak first, Lerato, it's amazing to me how you are always in sync and in line with exactly what I've got on my brain today. So I think the universe and you and me, and I think we all smile together sometimes. That thing that I sent Deborah, the thing that you were just talking about, that document, it's got 4 or 5 various types of meditation, but they're not standard meditations. I'll mention every one of them in talking today, but they really are powerful if you use them. And we'll go through this. Earlier when you came on, Lerato, oh my gracious, you mentioned constantly, deliberately choosing. You mentioned being in alignment. You mentioned manifesting, abundance, well-being. You even made me smile when you said, when our bank account starts to reflect those things that we're manifesting. I said, amen, sister, I want it in the bank, that kind of thing. But all of those things and many more of what you were talking about are in sync with the many things that we're going to mention today, right? And your words are inspiring on so many levels, and I'm just grateful that you're a part of this, and I want to thank you personally for that. You mentioned something that I'm going to say one more thing, because you talked about how we go through experiences and what we've been through and what we are going through. So before I kick anything off, I just want to remind us here that, you know what? Even as you, Lerato, had alluded to, it's not about the experience per se. It's about what we do to it, or do with it, our response to that experience. So, and it's a learning process. So thank you so much for just everything that you just said. Now, a lot of us here have probably heard scientists talk about, and again, I may be referring to you, Lerato, because you know what? You mentioned a lot of this stuff. But scientists talk about an unseen yet a very tangible field of energy that's pulsing with infinite possibilities, waiting for our thoughts and our emotions, right? Our intentions, to let it make things for us, to take our thoughts and make them into things. That's some of what we're going to be talking about today. It's a field, it's a discovery, okay? This field that we're talking about is relatively new. About 100 years ago, they came up with quantum. Obviously, before that, the Bible talks about us being the recipient of all the blessings in the spiritual realm. This is the field we're talking about. It's a spiritual field. It's a quantum field. It's many things, but it's a field, a discovery, right, that bridges the divide between the ancient wisdom that we knew and have lost some of, with the new sciences of today, the modern stuff, and it gives us another lens, if you will, right, that we can use to look through to view our reality. And for those that have followed the groundbreaking work of Dr. Joe Dispenza, Dr. Bruce Lipton, certainly Greg Braden, Lynn McTaggart. I mean, there's so many folks, right? I rely a lot on their work because they are just such groundbreaking pioneers in this whole thing. But it's not just this field, this quantum field, whatever you want to call it, the matrix. It's not just a theory, it's a call to action for harnessing the power of consciousness and for rewriting or writing or adding to our own stories, our own lives, right? Greg Braden, he's a best-selling author, he's a scientist, an educator, a global educator at that. He popularized the concept by calling it the divine matrix. He did that in a book that he wrote in 2007 called The Divine Matrix. Imagine that, right? And it refers to this universal field of energy or consciousness that connects absolutely everything. People, objects, events, everything across time, across space. He describes it as an intelligent, creative web that underlies or undergirds, if you will, all of our reality, allowing our thoughts and our emotions and our intentions to influence this physical world. And the field is said to respond to coherent emotional states like those that are achieved through heart-brain coherence, which is one of the things that we're going to be talking about today. And that response of the field to us enables us to tap into potential for healing, for the manifestation that Lerato was talking about, and for the transformation that we're all wanting for our lives. And now this field, this divine matrix, if you will, has three main characteristics. It's got interconnectedness, all right? This is saying that everything within the field is linked. It means that our actions and our emotions could all ripple outward, if you will. They affect others and the environment. It also has intelligence, right? There's design in this, and there's consciousness in this, meaning that it's not just energy. It's actually conscious, responsive. It's a force that mirrors our beliefs and our feelings. And third, it has creative potential. And that allows us to align with the field. Lerato, you talked about us aligning to a lot of different things, right? But it talks about or tells us that we can align with this field through practices of gratitude, obviously appreciation, the higher frequencies, love, that sort of thing, meditation, and that you can shape your reality in a lot of different meaningful ways. Now, the field has got some other names. The concept of the divine matrix, which I kind of like because it gives you a spiritual sense of things. It obviously isn't unique to Mr. Braden. It's appeared in various ways. The field has by different titles in spiritual or scientific or even philosophical traditions under a lot of different names. And some of these are the field. Now, Lynn uses that. McTaggart, she's an author that's heavily into this too. And the field describes scientifically supported energy web, so to speak, right, that connects everything. Obviously, you've heard of the quantum field. That's in quantum physics, refers to the invisible field of probabilities, yada, yada, yada. There's also, and this might be new for you, there's a zero-point field. And that's a term from quantum mechanics, and it's talking about the baseline energy of the universe. And actually, that one is sometimes linked to consciousness. Akashic field, which is kind of like a cosmic library, if you will, for all knowledge and experience. There's also universal consciousness, the source, the ether, the web of life, the cosmic web, and then lots of different, the cosmic lattice, just lots of different names to kind of describe the same thing, which we call the field, or I'll probably call either the field or divine matrix, depending on where I'm at in this. And while all of the terms or titles or all the things we use to describe it kind of share or maybe similar, their interpretations are a little bit different. Like, for instance, if you talk about the quantum field, that's in physics. It's grounded in physics. If you talk about the Akashic field, well, that's more of an esoteric, spiritual kind of a connotation with it. But it's all talking about the same thing. And Braden's concept of a divine matrix actually blends the phenomenon of quantum entanglement with spiritual energies and spiritual things like that, and they draw from studies like were done at the Heart Math Institute, which I believe is probably the world premier or leader in this kind of information. They're absolutely phenomenal. So to show how we got here, I want to back up a little bit, because in talking with Deborah, I said, you know, I want people to know not only where we are, but how did we even get here, and how do we use this in our lives? And if you can think about the document that Deborah and the others had talked about, through those, you'll be able to use the information that I give you today in your own personal life, and you'll be able to see these things and work that and build on that. So for centuries now, our understanding of the universe was actually shaped by Newtonian physics, right? It's pioneered by Sir Isaac Newton back in the late 17th century. And this whole framework actually describes what we see as a mechanical cosmos, right? Like planets and human bodies and, you know, motion, right? Everything moving in predictable ways, governed by fixed laws like gravity and movement and stuff like that, right? Now, in Newton's view, the universe was, I don't know, like a great big clock, some clockwork of sorts, right? With everything separate, but interacting with each other through a cause and effect kind of scenario. Each was isolated unless it was acted upon by an external force. So we have laws of physics, you know, and one of them talks about that, you know, how it's going to keep going until something interacts with it. But time and space in Newtonian physics were absolute, just meaning you couldn't change them. They were, and that's all there was to it. Matter was solid, unchanging, and independent, right? But this model, even though it was really revolutionary for its time, it laid the foundation for our science today, our modern science, explaining everything from the falling objects to the orbiting planets, you know, the stars in the sky, that sort of thing. And they did it with incredible preciseness and very elegant detail. I mean, it's just beautiful when you start looking at some of the mathematics behind this. Still, it didn't leave any room for the interconnected, very dynamic reality that we know exists now, right? We're connected. We know that. The Newtonian model of physics said everything's separated, but when they act on each other, then they affect each other. And that we know that that's not the whole truth. Now, the concept of a divine matrix challenges the very foundations of conventional physics, which once taught us that the universe is a collection of separate solid objects, you know, and they're governed by predictable laws. Now, recently, you know, especially within the last 100 years, specifically within the last 30 or 40, then what we're finding is that there's a far more dynamic truth in that everything from atoms to the bodies to the stars up in the cosmos is interconnected within this vibrant field of energy, the thing that we're calling the field or the matrix or the source or all it is, whatever name you call it. The field is often described as Higgs field in physics, or a lot of folks just say it's a quantum soup, meaning that it's not empty space, but it's a living environment, a canvas, if you will, with a lot of potential, all potential actually, and it responds to human consciousness, right? Making us not just bystanders, but co-creators in reality. Now, quantum physics, man, it started to validate this some time ago. I think it was in 1982. There was an experiment done that demonstrated quantum entanglement, and it just showed that particles, you know, that were separated by light years or just years or whatever, you know, distances, great distances, they can still simultaneously, instantaneously affect each other as if they were linked by something, right? And this phenomenon suggests that the universe is not a patchwork of isolated random events, but rather it's a single interconnected web. And obviously that's what Mr. Braden reflects in his book called The Divine Matrix. And he describes it as a sea of intelligent energy, which mirrors our deepest beliefs. And I like that. It's poetic to me. Dr. Joe Dispenza takes it a little further, and he argues that our thoughts and our emotions are energetic signals that actually shape the field, which I'm thinking of a huge field, but what he's referring to mostly is it shapes the field and it brings it into our awareness and it brings it into our reality. So it therefore shapes it and it gives it substance. But anyway, he argues that our thoughts and emotions are energetic signals that shape it. They influence everything from our health to our relationships. And that was all covered. He wrote a book called Becoming Supernatural in 2017, which was, wow, I mean, it's phenomenal. There's another guy, Dr. Bruce Lipton, who's, like the other two, he did research on epigenetics, revealing how our beliefs actually interact with this energy. So we're interacting at every turn, we have connection and interaction with this field, with this energy. And he's saying that it can actually alter gene expression and transform our biology, which we've seen done in the experiments that Dr. Dispenza has done in his workshops. Dr. Lipton came out with a book called The Biology of Belief, which when you think about that, you have a little bit of a tilt moment. You go, wait a minute, biology of belief. Belief is subtle energy. Biology is a physical. What is that about? But it really does make sense once you get into it. Together, these pioneers that I've been mentioning, they all point to the radical truth that the divine matrix is not just a scientific concept, but it's a practical tool for transformation. Now, according to Braden, this matrix, this field, if you will, it serves three essential roles. It's a container. It holds the entire universe, right? It has every event, every particle, every dimension in it. So it's holding everything. It's a bridge. It links our inner world, our thoughts and our emotions and our intentions, with the outer world, our outer environment, right? Allowing our prayers and intentions to ripple out from our bodies, from our inner world to the out. And it's also a mirror that reflects back to us our heartfelt beliefs, both conscious and conscious or unconscious, I might add, and it manifests them as the circumstances or as the experiences in our lives, right? And these roles are all grounded in two key specific principles: quantum entanglement and holography. Now, entanglement is just saying, hey, particles that were once connected are always connected. They'll always be connected, and they will always mirror each other's changes instantly, no matter how far apart they are. The holographic, or you know what a hologram is, a holographic principle just kind of deepens that a little bit. And it says, every fragment of a hologram contains the whole image, no matter how small it is. And this means that a single thought or intention or a prayer can ripple out through every bit of it, the entire matrix, affecting changes far, far beyond where it first originated, right? Now, Dr. Lipton applies this to biology and shows how our beliefs actually act as holographic blueprints, influencing the cellular function of our bodies, and this is all through epigenetic signals. Now, Dr. Dispenza's work complements Dr. Lipton's work, which you would kind of expect, by emphasizing that the matrix responds to our coherent emotional states. Now, in that book, Becoming Supernatural by Dr. Dispenza, he describes how focused intention, when you pair that with an elevated emotion, so you've got a thought and an intention, and you have an emotion, and you marry those, like maybe gratitude or something like that, it can actually collapse, shrink down, or solidify the quantum possibilities into tangible outcomes. In other words, taking that thought or intention, marrying that with an elevated emotion will actually bring into our 3D reality whatever it is that you're thinking of. So, I mean, I know it's a little strange to think about, but it's there. There's a lot of peer-reviewed science as well that backs all this up. And this is to say that the divine matrix or the field, it's not just a passive backdrop. It's an interactive, dynamic field. It allows us to collapse the infinite quantum possibilities, right, all the potential into what it is that we're wanting for our specific realities, and it comes into our tangible realities that way. And this process, obviously rooted in quantum physics, hinges on the observer effect. Some of you may remember reading about or hearing about a long time ago something called the double slit experiment. That's where that was all brought into light. This process, Dr. Dispenza expands on, and he teaches that focused intention, right? The thing that we want to happen, our intention, paired with that elevated emotion like gratitude, could actually tune the field to manifest specific outcomes. And that's when we were laughing a little bit ago when Lerato had said something about, making it to our bank account, where we're thinking, we want abundance in the form of money and it needs to be in our bank account. So we take, and through our thoughts with believing that we're having it and getting it, and it does show up in our bank account. So it was kind of fun. Anyway, this tuning is a method of heart-brain coherence that we're about to talk about. So how do we do this? I mean, how do we actually engage the field? Well, there are three main pieces to this that kind of stand out. The first one is intention. Okay, you got to have intention. The second one, and this was something that I equated to what Lerato had said early on when she was talking about choosing, making choices, and using our words, right? The second one's called conscious language, okay? And the third one is a feeling-based prayer. Now, intention is the act of choosing a possibility from the field's vast potential. I mean, if you can think it, it's already out there. If you can think it, you can get it. You can bring it to you. Dispenza's workshops, right? They have documented spontaneous remissions in health. I mean, cancer's disappearing. I mean, really, really phenomenal things because their intentions were coherent and they were aligned with what they wanted. So that was, I mean, there's a lot of good science behind it. Conscious language is equally critical. And what we're saying here is that the field responds to energetic patterns of our words, okay, which our words, I mean, you've heard biblically, there's not only words in the written word that there's power, but there's power in the spoken word. And that's exactly what we're saying here, that our words act as acoustic waveforms that carry intention, energy, straight into the field, right? Unlike casual speech, conscious, thoughtful, purposeful language aligns our thoughts with desired outcomes, and that amplifies our creative power. Dr. Dispenza, he talks about that. He actually teaches that intentional speech reprograms the neural pathways, and it aligns our brain with the reality that we actually want to envision. In this way, we can easily say that words are not mere sounds. They're acoustic waveforms, and they carry energy directly into the matrix or divine matrix or field or whatever you want to call it, right? For us, conscious languaging is a daily practice that helps us shape our reality by choosing words that reflect unity and possibility. Will align with the matrices and with its creative pulse, if you will, right? Now, there was a study in 2011 that was done on linguistic relativity, and it supports this, showing that language shapes our thought patterns and rewires our brains so that we start to perceive reality differently. In other words, it rewires it to start seeing what it is that we're actually thinking about. Now, the third one, feeling-based prayer. Most folks probably know what prayer is. It's probably the most powerful tool that you can have if you do it right. Now, unlike traditional prayers, which usually ask for something that's absent, God, please give me help. God, please give me, safe journeys, that sort of thing. This type of feeling-based prayer, it's described, by the way, in ancient texts like the Gospel of Thomas, for instance, right? It focuses on feeling the outcome as if it's already happened. Braden explains that the matrix responds to the sensory richness of our emotions, not just words, right? And Dispenza's meditations, which are in the document that I've previously provided, some of them, they guide us, the practitioners, right, people doing them, to embody the emotion of their desired future, right? And for us, interacting with the field simply means becoming an active participant in our own reality. So every thought, every word, and every feeling we have is something that is used to bring our reality and bring into focus what it is that we really want to have. And to do this, we start with a heart-brain coherence. Now, have you ever had a moment when everything inside you feels so perfectly aligned? It's a time when, I mean, your thoughts are clear, your emotions are steady, and you got a very deep sense of calm. Man, what you're feeling right then and right there, that's the magic of heart-brain coherence. It's a state where our heart and our brain are working together in harmony, and at its core, this type of coherence is about synchronization. It's about our heart and our brain aligning their own rhythms, and that create a smooth, flowing connection, and it feels like, you know, just everything is right with the world and life is really, really good. Now, the Heart Math Institute describes it as a state where our heart and brain and emotions and nervous system are all in sync together, and they produce a very steady wave-like pattern in our heart rate, as seen on the monitor. You can kind of think of it like tuning into a radio station where you've got zero clutter, zero static, and you get nothing but pure, true, good signal. Now, why does all this matter? Well, when our heart and brain are coherent, when they're in coherence, right, amazing things happen. Our emotional balance, if we get that, we feel calmer, more grounded, even in stressful situations. It's like having an inner anchor that really kind of holds you steady. You get mental clarity, our focus, it sharpens, right? Decision-making becomes easier. It boosts our thought process and helps us think clearly and creatively. It gives us better physical health. Studies from Heart Math show that coherence lowers cortisol, which is a stress hormone, by 25-35%, and it boosts the vitality hormone, the DHEA, I think, by over 100%, which is really kind of cool. And this can strengthen our immune system and promote overall well-being for many, many hours, even after the meditation. We also gain what's called intuitive insight. When we're in coherence, we're able to tap into intuitive knowing, right? I think women are better at this. I think women have a higher intuition than men generally, because they're more loving and they're more connected to their own heart, but that's just me. But either way, we get to tap into this intuitive knowing, and we're making choices now that are deeply right or just feel right. And last but not least, we also get a sense of a connection to something bigger, right? The pioneers in this field are suggesting that coherence aligns us with a universal energy field, which is the field, and it unlocks our potential in a way. Excuse me. So in short, heart-brain coherence is like hitting the reset button on our mind and our body, right? And it helps us just to be better versions of ourselves. Now, you might think of the heart as just a pump, but it's so much more than just that. It's got its own little brain in it that's got about 40,000 neurons, actually talks to the brain through the vagus nerve, which is a communication nerve. And it sends a lot more to the brain than the brain sends back. And that helps us with our thoughts and feelings a lot. Now, the Heart Math Institute has also shown that when we focus on positive emotion, gratitude, love, appreciation, that sort of thing, our heart's rhythm becomes very coherent, and it triggers a whole cascade of great benefits. And Dr. Dispenza builds on this, teaching us that these coherent states change how our genes actually express themselves, and they can make us healthier and live longer and give us more vitality. What's more, now this is interesting too, coherence has been connected to advanced brain state, like gamma waves, which are linked to heightened intuition and to a sense of unity, which means the heart-brain coherence isn't just change, or it doesn't just change. You use it, it influences the world around you. I mean, this makes coherence, this heart-brain coherence that we have, not just a personal tool for us, but it's a way to contribute to a more positive world. Now, in this, Dr. Lipton's research showed that positive emotional environments enhance or make better the gene expression that supports collective well-being. Braden did the same kind of in his book. He wrote it, it's called Resilience from the Heart, where he emphasizes that personal coherence fosters social coherence, which scales up and has global impact. So you might think that you're doing everything good for your life and you're feeling good about it, but in the middle of all that, it's extending way beyond you, and it's affecting globally, because it really does have that kind of an outreach. Even though you think, oh, I'm just doing it for me, you're really doing it for everybody. So I mean, you gotta like that. He cites examples from communities that were practicing these heart-based coherences, like those that were used in heart math studies. And those communities had lower crime rates, fewer hospital visits, that sort of thing. There's a lot of good science and studies out there that support all of this. Lynn McTaggart's intention experiments further validate all of this, where she was doing things that the group intentions actually influenced physical systems, everything from plant growth to social outcomes, and they were all measured over time. I mean, it's really crazy. Bringing it in, though, I mean, she says, if we just feed the field with love and cooperation, then we're actually shifting global consciousness without external technologies. There's a lot out in the world. If you've been watching Musk and a lot of the others that are on cutting edge technologies, they want to put things in the body. They've already got chips they're putting in your brain and stuff like that. But all these pioneers that we're talking about today, they all say, we are the science, we are the technology, and we don't need this extra stuff. You can do it on our own. And for us, it all means that our daily coherence practices, it's a radical act for global change. And by aligning with the field, right, with this good energy, we contribute to a collective wave of harmony that goes out into the universe. And whether you're making clear, decisions at work, or whether you're just staying calm with kids, or simply you just feel more alive and feel better, our coherent state has a very quiet, powerful impact, not only on us and what's close to us, but it also resonates out into the environment and has a global effect, a community effect, that sort of thing. Now, in kind of trying to bring this all together, I guess, Dr. Dispenza, the neuroscientist, he merges quantum principles and transformation together, right? And demonstrates meditations can rewire the brain. They can boost gamma waves, and they can do it much better than healing with implants. Dr. Bruce Lipton, he's a cellular guy, cellular biologist. He says that our body is designed for self-empowerment with coherent emotions that trigger expression for health and vitality. And there's been a lot of studies beyond that. Heart Math Institute, obviously, they have research that shows that through heart-brain coherence, there are things that are achievable. These simple practices we do, they're better at boosting immunity and resilience than the stress-reducing technologies that are out there and that were created by men. And these findings all challenge the what I would call a transhumanist narrative, if you will, by affirming that our connection to the field is probably our greatest asset. As far as preserving human potential goes, anyway, I mean, embracing these practices that strengthen us, it's an innate thing that we can do. By prioritizing heart-based coherence over these external tools, we actually safeguard what makes us very uniquely human. And in this way, I guess you could say that coherence is like a superpower, right? That we've all got. We just need to unlock it by aligning our heart and our brains, with this coherence through simple practices. Like the document that I sent, there's 4 or 5 of them. I'm sure you'll find one that will resonate with you, because we know that this is not just woo-woo. It's science-backed. It's very practical. The bottom line is our heart, it's got its own wisdom, and it's ready to guide us. We can, with it, if we just get into it, talk to it, let it talk to us, then it'll give us a healthier, more vibrant life. We'll be a lot better off. I would just encourage you to take a few minutes to breathe, feel some gratitude, connect with your heart, use those things in the document. You might be surprised at how many changes you have, and how good you start to feel once you let your heart and your brain kind of sing a song together. So I'm going to let it go right there. And if anybody's got any questions, and I'm certainly right here. But rewriting our reality, I mean, we live in a field of pulsating energy that connects all of us. It responds to our thoughts and our emotions. When you think of quantum physics through experiments that demonstrate entanglement and that sort of thing, it confirms our interconnectedness, showing that our actions ripple out and across the cosmos. Braden actually frames this field as a container, a bridge, and a mirror that reflects our heartfelt beliefs. Advanced brain states. I mean, the math is out there. Everything's out there. The biology of belief, I'd recommend anybody that wants to get out there and read that, because Dr. Lipton, he adds in there that coherent emotions trigger these epigenetic changes and give us better health and longer life, and that's what it's all about, having a better life overall. Conscious language, purposefully thinking about what you're saying and speaking those words out with power into the universe, that wires our brain for unity, right? Turning words into commands to the field. And by embracing all of these things, we actually preserve our humanity, our human potential against some of the technologies that we're being faced with and people are trying to bring. And through these things, we can honor the gifts that we've been given. This is the power of the field, the divine matrix, right? This is the power of source, of God, if you will. It empowers us to heal and to thrive and to co-create in a world with compassion and balance. And it all starts for us at a personal level through our own heart and brain coherence. So thank you very much. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll look forward to doing this again sometime.
That is awesome, Brother Jeffrey. Very, very awesome. What a great and timely message. Thank you so much. I'm not going to say any more because it's not my turn to talk, but thank you so much.
Thank you, Queen Yvonne. Thank you, Brother Jeffrey. Oh my goodness, I am in awe. That was really a brilliant presentation. That was so inspirational, and I love how you connected everything together, making it so relatable. Because sometimes we are aware of what even happens around us, our surroundings, and let alone mental mind state, and let alone in our hearts. But oh my gosh, oh my gosh. I hope everyone was able to download or open up the Word document. If you got lost, don't worry. You can always go back and listen to our brother's presentation and follow through the document, the conversation. You will not be disappointed. This was so inspirational. And we would like to allow for his words to do justice to it. But all I can say is, sometimes we tell ourselves when things happen around us in your brain, in your mind, and you are in denial, what do you say? No. And then you refuse to listen to your heart. Or Brother Jeffrey talked of intuition, right? Your heart tells you you have an intuition and your brain is directing you to act on it. But what do? When you decide to hear and you shut down the part of your brain, what happens? You find yourself in a dilemma, in a situation where you don't carry it to action. And then when after the fact something happens because you failed to listen to it, then you start thinking, oh my God, my heart told me, my brain initiated the action, but I shut it down. I did not follow through. This shouldn't have happened. I should have refrained from either traveling or maybe I should have done things a different way. A very good example is, have you ever wanted to travel somewhere and your gut tells you, don't go, it doesn't feel right? Your brain starts initiating that conversation and you are like, okay, don't go. But then it comes down to you, and that is where the meditation comes in, which our brother has masterfully explained. You have to take down that moment, that meditate, reflect, think of it, listen to your heart and listen to your brain. Be intentional. Because if you are not intentional at that moment, then you get to miss those signals. You get to miss those moments when it is being relayed to you, when it's being exposed to you. And then if you follow through, you realize that you'll be comfortable. Like, Brother Jeffrey said, emotionally, you'll be happy, you'll be grounded. Mentally, you'll be calm. Overall well-being, you'll not be concerned. But when you miss it and the after fact is something happens, maybe on your way you get a car breakdown, or on your way something happens, in some cases accidents, and then you start thinking, oh my God, I should have listened to my gut. I should have listened to what my brain was telling me. And now not only your mental well-being, you are stressed out, you are not focused, and then it's like everything goes wrong. So we need to learn to listen, and listen to our hearts, our brain when they speak to us.
Yeah.
And who does that if not God Almighty?
Amen.
Who is the superpower behind it?
Yes.
Who is giving you those intuition, and who is telling your brain to act?
Yes.
They are not working in isolation.
No, they're not.
They are a system. They are all working together, hand in tandem, one with one
Absolutely.
another.
Absolutely.
And so when we have that awareness, that knowledge that all of them work together as one, then we begin to listen to each and we follow. But let me not take, Brother Jeffrey,
wanted
that
to
was
say
my
something,
own way.
sis. I didn't know how to raise
understood
my
it. I
hand.
just wanted to say something.
Yes, I wanted to raise my hand. Can you hear me, sis?
Yes.
Yeah, I wanted to raise my hand. I don't know how to raise my hand and I don't want to barge in. So please give me an opportunity when the time comes. I wanted to say something pertaining to what you just said.
Okay, yes. No, I am done. I think that is it for me. And at this time,
you know, Sister Kanda, before you go along, I just want to, before I forget, the only thing wrong with us, if you want to say that, is because we have autonomy, we have agency, we have free choice, and that is where we have the disconnect with what we are meant to do, right? We're not little robots. If God was just sending us out and just letting us do what he wanted us to do, it would be so much different, isn't it? Isn't that right?
Yeah.
But we have autonomy, and that is the issue. Thank you.
Thank you, Queen Yvonne. All right. Sister Lerato, over to you.
Yes, to what you said, right? You said that we don't listen, especially when you're going against the grain. You know, listening to the voice of God when everybody else is going the one direction and you want to go the opposite direction, it's one of the most challenging things. And I will talk about this. You know, you said this, and for me, it was a confirmation, right? Last year, I did a job very good job for a theater. It was great and wonderful. And then they came back to me and they offered me a contract, and this contract was paying more. A normal person will be like, oh, more money, let me jump into it. Immediately when they offered it, I kept on stalling because I was like, it looks good, but something in me is not like, everything looks good. It doesn't look shady, but I don't know, something was not allowing me to accept it. And, you know, everything was speaking. I was thinking about, okay, I wouldn't know what would be in. This is a guaranteed job for that time. What if I say no? And then when that time comes, nothing shows up. What am I going to do then? You know, when all these thoughts are coming and you're thinking, I'm rejecting this, but I don't know what's coming. You know, I don't know. I can't foresee that, but I knew in my heart that I don't feel good accepting the contract. I just don't like. And many times when I've accepted something that I was not supposed to take, if I tell you the stress or the drama, or it doesn't end well. It doesn't end well, whether mentally, emotionally, or physically, it doesn't end well, right? But it's the hardest thing to choose to listen to the voice of God or to listen to your intuition when you have to go against the grain, when you have to go against what is obvious, because everybody thinks, oh, but money is there, we'd have to jump in. No, not all money is good money, guys. Not all money is good money, or not all circumstances that look gold and wonderful are actually gold and wonderful. Not all that glitters is gold, because we don't have the full spectrum of facts and what is divinely given to us, or that aligns with our purpose as well. The job looks good and everything, but it doesn't align with my purpose. And I know I'm going to be miserable if I'm there. And I'm going to be, every day is going to be mental acrobatics, convincing myself to go there. Right? Depression, all of that. And, you know, when you said it, it was confirmation again to remember to trust, to listen, and align with and agree with God, because everything that is meant for me will come for me, and there won't be sorrow and drama. Okay, there will be peace. Yeah. So thank you so much for this word. It's important to also remember that through this, we're confirming each other. It was a confirmation for me of what I've been, you know, I was like, did I make the right decision? But this is a confirmation for me. Thank you so much for this word.
Thank you, Queen Lerato. We appreciate you. Thank you so much. All right. At this time, I can see Brother Alan G's hand is raised. Over to you, Brother Alan G.
Hi, everybody. Thanks, Jeffrey. It was fantastic analysis. I'll just got one thing to say about this, that everything is energy. And if you've got to align with your energy to receive what you want. Because there's a book called Ask and It's Given, written by Esther Hicks, where she talks about the spiritual side of it, and everything is energy. You ask in energy to receive in energy are different. And you ask every time you don't want something, somebody gets added to your, what she calls a vortex, or your matrix. And you've got to align with that energy to receive it. And that is the most difficult thing to do. Because you're always asking, I want, but you can't actually align with what you're wanting. And this is one of the things that also, it's like having two different radio stations. You tune into, she calls 98.5, and you want to listen, and you're trying to get to one of 4.9 type of thing. So you're different frequencies, and you've got to align with the frequency to actually receive what is in your matrix. This is one of the big things that I'm also, and also you are the creator of your own reality. This is another thing. We create our own reality. And spirit lives within us. It's not sitting on a cloud somewhere up top. He's within us. So we create our own reality every day. And another thing I've come across, I always say, your life is as good as you allow it to be. I'll end on that. Thanks.
Beautifully said, Brother Alan G. We attract, we are what we attract, or what we create. Thank you. Brother Jeffrey, if you have any responses to the comments at this time.
Sorry, my dog was barking and I didn't want to blast you guys' eardrums. Yeah, well, I certainly appreciate, I know Esther Hicks, I know of her work, I know what you're referring to there, and I will agree that, you know what, it's all energy. I mean, everything is energy. It's when you start to really think about it, excuse me, the energy of asking occurs when we identify a desire or something that we want to manifest. Man, I mean, I agree with what he's saying. There's a lot to be said about all of that. As far as the energy of manifestation, the differences between asking and receiving, and the different types of it, and it's so subtle. I mean, it's just the variances are just. It's incredible when you start thinking about it and you start really, when you look at the differences between the kinds of prayer that we were taught growing up, and even Christ, he said, when you pray, believe that you've got it and you'll get it. I mean, you've got to believe it. And that's exactly what we're saying. And that's what we're saying here is take that thought, take that desire, that intention, marry it with that high or that elevated emotion of already, as if. That's a good thing. Marry that with the feeling as if you've already got it. And if you're feeling and you've got that together, like you've already got it, then bang, it's on the way. And one of the keys to this is when you do that, then let it go. And don't think about it. Don't double or second guess yourself. Get that thought, get that intention, marry it with a feeling, send it out there, and just be grateful, to God that, thank you, God, I appreciate you giving me this beautiful day and the health in this day and let it go. Because if you start putting an expectation on that, then you start to limit what God can do for you in that answer. So I'll let it go with that.
All right. King Allen, are you satisfied with that, or do you have any possible follow-up?
Yeah, it's true what he's saying there. There's another guy another thing I listened to is an entity called Crayon. I don't know if you ever follow him, Jeffrey, on YouTube. He talks more about your not so much the you got a different philosophy to Esther Hicks. It's saying that you create who you are, and as I say, it's difficult for me to express. My mind's gone blank on what I was going to say, but as I say, I follow him and I follow Esther Hicks, and there's as I say, I also follow a bit of Joe Dispenza. Quite a few that I follow, but those two are the two main ones that I'm listening to at the moment are Esther Hicks and Crayon. And sometimes I listen to Andy Rondo, Marion Harper. I don't know if you ever listened to her. Those are the three ones that I listen to mainly.
Alan, if I can recommend to you, I see your trajectory with Esther and Abraham, and you're also talking about Crayon, which is Lee Carroll.
Yes.
There's another one that just based on what you're saying that I'm aware of that I think you would enjoy, and that's just kind of go out and do a search on Daryl Anka.
Thanks.
Yep. I think you're gonna like his Bashar. I think you're gonna really like him.
Bashar. I've listened to him from time to time, yeah.
All right, thank you, Brother Allen. At this time, we would like to move on to the next webinar item, which is our updates. Of course, for some reason, Dr. Derek is having connection issues, but luckily for us, our CEO did not come out this week to give us any updates as of now. So I do work with Dr. Derek on the update. So we are just going to say, we wait, we hold on until our CEO comes up. There was supposed to be a webinar this Saturday, but it's planning to be moved. So we check our offices or our pop-up in our ecosystem for when that meeting is going to be rescheduled. But until then, our CEO is the only one, Mr. Ash Mufare, that we listen to, and he is going to guide us to the way forward. He has said we are moving forward, and under his leadership, and when he tells us a timeline to move and what comes next. So we leave it at that, and then at this time, we will move on to the Q&D. But before we move on to the Q&D, I would like to ask Dr. Pat, do you have a word to say before I call on our brother Jeffrey to give us his closing remark on the theme for today before we get to Q&A?
Yeah, my goodness. Wow. Perfect timing. You know, you both said it all. When I saw that topic, I said, yes, some of us need this. Some of us need it. I don't know, sometimes some of us are brain and
Heart.
heart coordination. Brain and heart, right?
Yes.
Yes, brain and heart. Heart and brain.
Brother Jeffrey, heart and brain and heart. I don't know. I don't know. For some reason, God made this perfectly, but we humans have fought it to almost like it's having conflict. They're not supposed to have conflict.
We're out of alignment, sister.
Out of alignment. That's the word. Out of
alignment.
alignment. So I'm just like, you know, and there's a season in your life that you can find that alignment almost like it needs somebody to tweak it. And this presentation is one of those type
Absolutely.
of
I agree 100%. Yes.
So a lot of the time we don't take a deep breath, right? We just go, and now our brain is telling us something, our heart is telling us something. Then we don't know what we're doing.
Exactly.
But Jeffrey, thank you. Let me tell you, and somebody asked, why do we keep having meetings?
Yeah.
I said, we are having meetings we are blessed with people that have knowledge and are willing to share freely with us.
Yes.
Why don't you take this opportunity of when it's, whether it's a waiting season or whatever you want to define it, and enrich yourself, impact yourself with knowledge. Yes. This is knowledge that you will not find freely.
No.
We are getting today for free. Let me tell you, there's a lot of things I've learned, and all this again connect to our mind, the mindset.
Absolutely.
Because if you have this in the back of your mind, and when you find yourself in that alignment, you do what? You take a deep breath, you meditate, and your brain or your heart and your brain will align.
Yes, ma'am.
And life will be beautiful.
Yes, it will.
And most of the time we are running, chasing, up there, waiting, anxious. I don't know. I'm not saying that I don't do that. I'm not saying I'm a perfect, but through this medium, through this platform, through people like Brother Jeffrey, blessing us with, impacting us with knowledge, I try, I'm not saying I'm doing that all the time, to take a deep breath. So what am I running for? What am I anxious about? When our Lord said we shouldn't worry what we eat, drink, why are we worried? Even with a diagnosis, why are you worried? The old book says he's going to heal us. So why worry? So, Brother Jeffrey, thank you. So every time I'll be in the rush, I'll take a deep breath and say, am I aligned? Because we're all out of alignment and I'm one of them. And especially during the season that we are going through as a family, this is just a perfect topic.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Chris, for letting me
Thank you.
blow as usual. Thank you, family. I miss you all. I'm glad to be here today with everybody.
We're glad you're here, sister. We're glad you're here. Can I just add something to that? You know, in the Bible, it talks about taking every thought captive, to cooling down before you do something, you know? And I know, Brother Jeffrey, I love both these concepts, science and religion or divinity. And I think science is catching up and just saying what the Holy Book has said all along. The world, the cosmos, whatever, it's active and alive. and our God is there for us, and he made us co-creators. He told us to take all our thoughts. We can't control what pops into our mind. It seems as if we can't do that. But the cooling down period that's required is to take that thought captive and see the truth of it, the value that's in it. And then you go with it or you throw it out. But the first thing you do is to take it captive. And this is what basically this whole thing is about.
Yeah.
Because we are creators and we have to be mindful of that. There's another word, mindful, meditation, all those things. We are not automatons, neither are we beasts. We are divine beings. Anyone who doesn't want to aspire to that, I'm very sorry. I did not crawl out of any primordial ooze. I am a divine creation from the one who created everything. And of course we are expanding and knowing more, because recently, Brother Jeffrey, they say that the universe is still expanding. We haven't plumbed the depths of it, and we never will, probably, because God is big, huge, large, as Sister Lerato just finished saying. You know, he magnifies everything, including us, and then we magnify him as well. So as I said at the beginning, this is such a timely, and you did it in such a way that we can all understand it. It's not over our heads.
No.
It's not at all. It's
It was simple.
something we can actively put into practice if we haven't been doing so. And so thank you again. Thank you again. That is what I got from that. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Queen Yvonne. All right.
Thank you.
All right, now to you, Brother Jeffrey, your closing remark on the discussion for today, our topic, heart-brain coherence. Over to you.
Wow. Well, thank you so very, very much for this. I certainly appreciate it. It's certainly good to see and be here with you all again. Heart coherence is just a state of optimal physical, emotional, and mental balance, and it's achieved when our heart and our mind and our emotions they're all aligned and they're synchronized. It's rooted in science. It's actually rooted in the science of heart-brain communication, primarily through Heart Math Institute, which I rely heavily on studies from them and the other pioneers in this field, right? And it's associated with improved health, emotional resilience, mental clarity, everything we want. You know, going back with Alan, I mean, Esther Hicks' teachings, while she doesn't explicitly use the term heart coherence, she aligns with its principles through the emphasis on emotional alignment and positive vibrational states and that sort of thing, you know? So what is it really? Well, it's just a measurable physiological state where our heart's rhythmic activity becomes smooth, even, and coherent. And that's seen in what Heart Math calls a rate variability pattern. So it's true and it's real and it's really cool. And life is really good when we can learn how it feels when we do that, so we can get in and out of it quick. Well, once you're in it, you don't want to ever get out of it. But when you find yourself out of it, you can easily get back into it. So thank you very much. I hope you have a great afternoon.
We appreciate you, Brother Jeffrey. Thank you. Thank you so much for gracing us on this Sunday. And we love you. All right. At this time, we can begin the Q&D. And I know I am also part of the Q&D, but I will allow Queen Yvonne to lead. Do we have any questions?
I know you're going to ask about questions. No, we don't. We have a lot of comments about congratulations, meditation for Divine Matrix. But okay, you're talking about the download. So that's in there many times. If somebody wants it, they can try that. And no questions. Just a lot of thank you to Brother Jeffrey and to Sister Lerato for their presentation. So I'm looking, no questions, no questions, no questions, sister.
Oh, okay. Well, then that means we enjoyed the conversation so much so that we don't have any questions anymore at this time, but the hope is that we will go back and listen to the presentation. And please, as a reminder, get your copy of the document. It's going to help you comprehend the discussion. And, you know, I mean, if you are a visual person like myself, having it in hand and reading through, it makes the understanding and comprehension even better. So please get it. And if you need it or you missed it, just ask for it in a chat and we will repost it, because I mean, we understand how fast messages can fill up the chat and then it gets lost. So please, for our mental state and as well as we continue, just let us know. So thank you. At this point, I think we have come to the end of our webinar. But before we do that, I just want to take this moment to say thank you and express my gratitude and appreciation first and foremost to our guest speaker, Brother Jeffrey. You have just given us a presentation that we will carry with us throughout the week. So many important things to get out of it, to meditate upon, reflect on, and to act on. We appreciate you always being with the Dream Team when we ask you to come and impact us with your knowledge. We love you and thank you again sincerely. And we say thank you on behalf of all the participants today, and as well as those who will be watching later on for this wonderful, wonderful, inspiring presentation today. So thank you. To Queen, yes. All right.
Thank you, Queen Carla. Brother Jeffrey, we cannot thank you enough. We really, really, really appreciate you. And for our YouTube viewers, we're sorry we had technical difficulty today. As you come to watch this on a later time that will be uploaded, please we appreciate you. We love you all. Thank you always for coming. And don't forget to join all our sisters platform during the week. And I will go and rewatch this and watch it alongside the notes. And I hope everybody will do it. Don't forget to join our sister platform. Monday, you have Miriam is doing more of their mindset. And Tuesdays and Thursdays, deep dive, globally changing life. Your security is important. Your health is important. Join them. Monday through Friday, One Global Movement, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Join them as well. They do a lot from your mindset to how you can be helping globally across the world. There's a lot of different courses. You might not have thought about any. Join Sister Yvonne, the two Yvonnes, and trust me, you'll find something to do. Yes. Then for now, Pierre is taking a break. Just continue to pray for her and Chloe as they seek medical care for Chloe. Put them in your prayers. We thank God so far for what he's doing so far. We continue to pray for Julie and Chloe. And then we are back here on Sunday, 12:45 Eastern Standard Time, where we'll be blessed with one of our ladies doing the work. Thank you, Sister Lerato, today for coming even after a very long trip to bless us with the word today. And I thank you all for holding the fort and always see, and we work as a family. When one person is down, you pull it up. And that's what the old good book says, right? Be your brother's keeper. And I was just reading my Old Testament, and it's really reminding me of that you cannot even borrow money to your brother with interest. That's being your brother's keeper. It even reminds you that you cannot harvest everything from your vineyard. Everything you have to leave some for the poor, the widow, and the fatherless. So that means being your brother keeper. And this platform is one of those that emanate that. Thank you all. And for our sisters and brothers that could not join us today, we love you. We know you are, we know where you are. And for those that could hold the fort today, thank you all. And I will stop the recording so we can play our closing with